services for the attached documentation. Mr. Coacher?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. A few meetings ago, actually a couple months ago, council approved us to enter negotiations with Comerica Bank for banking services. So part of that is to come back with you with the actual contracts. So between then and now, we had our legal review contracts, and in my memo I stated that, like I said, if you actually read the agreements are very cumbersome and sometimes unreadable, things like that, but it's really, like I said, it's really trusting the bank, and then also negotiation fees, which we got a couple extra $1,000 in some implementation costs from them, and a couple months free evaluation charges. So all in all, like I said, we still feel comfortable moving forward with Comerica. It's just those kind of agreements are standard boilerplate for the industry, as the attorney said. Again, the city does have a good opt-out clause. If we are not satisfied with the services, we only need to give 30 days notice, so that's good for the city as well. But we really think that the partnership with Comerica is going to help us out, and we'll see how it goes. But this is the final step, just to approve the contracts, and then we can move forward and start getting things implemented.
Item 14 is a motion to approve a contract between the City of Taylor and Cross Renovations 34133 Schoolcraft, Livonia, Michigan 48150 for a media center and parks and recreational building.
This was reviewed by the attorney also, and actually partially.
This,
Sure.
does this basically doesn't have to have a cost figure on it then? Do we have an idea?
It does have a cost. Okay. There's a total. It's got limited damages of $500 a day if you don't finish. Here it is. Project 1 Media Center, and that's got Project 2. So hold on a second. Right here, Article 4, contract sum $4,139,000. Page 3.
I'm just wondering if that shouldn't be read into the motion, the amount. Should it, should it not?
The amount that were approved 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that should be in there.
I did add on the bid award a 1.5% contingency, if you recall. But we don't want that contingency in the contract. We don't want the contractor to know we have an extra $40,000 or $80,000 to work with. So this is the actual bid rate that's in the contract. But we did get approved a 1.5% contingency when we approved the bid. But like I said, we would not put that contingency in the contract.
That was voted on at the last meeting?
Yeah.
Correct.
The month
Okay.
were.
The amount.
Yeah, it's the same amount, plus a 1.5% contingency.
I mean, we can have it, it's up to you guys.
I was just thinking as far as keeping it on the record as it's something that we're going forward with, and that amount would still be held to what we approved tonight, as far as what we're approving.
Well,
The 80,000 is built into this already?
no, it is not.
Okay.
It's,
Look, we did that
there's a
last year.
contingency, we usually ask for a higher contingency, but since this was such a large amount, we only wanted a small contingency just to keep the contractor going in case there was something we ran into, which equated to about 80,000, and anything over that, we would have to come to council and do a contract amendment. Because a project this size, to be honest with you, especially when you're doing a remodel, you're going to run into some issues that you just don't know about. So the contingency would probably end up getting used at some point, because this is a pretty big project. But anything over the 1.5% would come back as a contract.
should be reflected in the minutes. You're approving the contract with the amount not to exceed.
Okay.
$4,201,593. And that includes the-
593, you said?
593, yes, and that includes that 1.5%.
We'll just have them for the amount not to exceed.
Not to exceed amount of
Okay.
201,593.
Are there any questions?
Mr. Chairman?
Councilman Burt?
The change orders, I was going through this document and about progress payments. It talks about payments on change directives, change order. And who's going to approve those? Is it going to come back before council?
Not if it's within the $4,139 or the contingency. I would approve the change order. Anything over the amount that is approved by council would have to come back to council for a contract.
So you're just referring to like design change orders or?
Anything they come across, I mean, they could add a conduit that we didn't think about, you know, and that would require a change order. The specifications are very, very specific. I don't know if you've seen the spec book when you was here, but it's about this thick.
Right.
So this contract references that specification. So anything beyond or something that we come across that is unusual and we need to do a change order, the only change order that would be approved administratively would be within the contingency.
The payment section says that portion of construction change directives that the architect determines in the architect's professional judgment to be reasonably justified. So you're saying that's only within this set amount, not anything above that amount?
No, anything above that would have to be a contract amendment to go against. The contract is specific and it's specific cost. And I made that clear because after the last meeting, he kind of balked at the 1.5%. He thought it should be more because of the size of the project that, you know, usually projects this size have a larger contingency. And I said, that's fine, we got enough to keep you going to the next council.
When
So
you say contract, though, you're referring to this document, right?
I'm referring to what was approved at the last meeting in the amount that is in this contract.
Okay.
The amount is set in this contract, and like I said, I even talked to the mayor about this, about the contingency, because we need some sort of contingency so we don't have to stop the contractor from working if there is a change order that needs to go to council. That is over that. Because there is liquidated damages.
Architect's professional judgment, how do I interpret that relative to what you're saying?
They can't do anything without my approval. Even if it's the architect's professional opinion, it still has to be approved by us who's the owner.
Okay.
And I will make sure that is going to be done.
I also noticed a couple of references to document A201217. This is 101217. Do I have that and not realize it, or is there another document that we should be reviewing?
There is a specification that this refers to, and we didn't provide because it literally is this.
Well, yeah, the specs probably wouldn't mean a lot to me, but this would be about dispute resolution, termination and suspension of contract. I don't know if it's more pages to this or if it's a completely separate document.
This is the contract, the only other documents would be the specification and the plans that it refers to. It adopts it by reference.
This document goes up to 9 articles, and it references Article 14, Article 15, and specifically, I was curious about termination or suspension of contract. It's on page 5 of what we have, and it references Article 14 on A1A document A201, and we have A101.
That would be in the
So
specification.
you're saying the specifications are 201.
Yeah.
Can you briefly describe termination or suspension, what would happen from either party? Or what could happen from either party?
I don't have the specifications in front of me. I'm sorry about that. I thought he was going to be here tonight to answer questions.
Well, it would be us making that determination, correct?
But it says the owner or the contractor can terminate or suspend specifically, or on page 5.
I don't really, because I don't have it, I don't know what questions I might have, or it might be very
Right.
self-explanatory. I'm just seen references to Article 15, dispute resolution, Article 14, contract termination, and I don't have that in front of me, so I don't know. It might be something, it might be nothing. And I wouldn't have expected to get, a 400-page spec document, but
It's
I
rather
thought
large.
maybe these articles would have been part of the package that we received.
Right, 6.2 is binding dispute resolution also, signing to agree to a binding dispute resolution that we don't know what that binding dispute resolution is.